saying Rav Moshe Sternbach, Yamim, he had a chain on all the Gedolei Ador, the older, the Chazon Ish loved him, the Brisker Rav loved him, and our mordchai pogramansky. He must have had a tremendous, he still does, a tremendous chain.
Do you understand it? Do you have a way of explaining that? You don't know. Okay, good. So,
well, he's an Ish Emes, that's for certain. I feel.
I saw pictures.
And he learns. He's an Aquarius, for our people who know astrology. He's a very curious person. You can see it in all his books. Oh, yeah. You look at his books. They're very geschmack reading. Siona Kramer used to read him.
He's like from Homer's time, but he brings all kinds of interesting things.
Yeah.
A lot of stories also. Yeah. Okay, but...
no, stories that he didn't get from books, Torah Balpeh.
Oh. Yeah, he's a sticker of Masura, you could say, in this
But the Brisker Rav and the Chazon Ish, also comets, Haley's comets, they loved them. They used to love to Mishashea with his young bacher.
Yeah. There's a picture of him standing by the chuppah, one of the Brisker's sons. He's without a beard there, but it's exactly him. You can see the exact same, the whole body language, the way he's standing there. Anyway, I can't go into all these.
Where do you see the picture?
In the book.
The Brisker Rav book.
Brisker Rav, I think. Now, what I want to say, Rav Moshe Sternbach says he says over a whole list of stories that he saw by his connection to mordchai pogramansky, and it's amazing. It's Mamash Hashgacha Pratis that I found this page. So, it says like this. And I said, here I want to get to the point over here. Rav Mordechai said to Rav Moshe Sternbach when he was a young man, he said...
when he was younger, he's still a young man.
Oh, yeah, okay. So the Sfarim HaKadmonim, they talked about what's going to be in the Achris Hayom. I don't know what he means. Maybe it means the Rambam, the other Rishonim. Or maybe even Chazal. They talked about Achris Hayom, Ikvus of the Mashiach. There's a Mishnah in Soto was going to be Ikvus of the Mashiach. I don't know, Sfarim Kadmonim, I would say Chazal. They talked about Ikvus of the Mashiach. It says Chutz Beyaske. It says the son will be Mezaz on his father, Kalo B'Chamotza. Oyeve Ish Anshe Beisho, which is something we see nowadays. I mean, I've seen it. Oyeve Ish, the enemies of a person are in his own house. And sometimes enemies doesn't mean they want to kill one another. I mean, it could be there's such a expression in English, he rubbed the other one the wrong way. He rubs me the wrong way. And that's Anshe Beisho. There are houses, and I've seen it in my own house. When I once had a house, that sometimes there's no harmony. There isn't harmony. That's also a bechin of Oyeveish Anshe Beisho. The Chazal described a lot of things about Ikvus of the Mashiach, but nobody was meramis that there's going to be, the Yidden are going to set up a Medina, a government before Mashiach comes. Nobody was meramis on it, nobody talked about it. Says Rav Mordechai pogramansky that there's going to be such a darkness that's called Medina Yisrael, that's going to be before Mashiach comes. Nobody talked about it. What could be the reason? What do you think could be the reason? What? I don't know. So he said like this. Listen to what he said. He said, I think he was a very original person.
We have his birthday, maybe? In the book, maybe.
In the book, I think it might be in the book. By the way, he didn't grow up in such a frum family. I mean, we think everything in Europe before the war was rosy, like my mother said.
No, I listened to Rav Avigdor Miller. I know what it was like.
It was a very bad situation. He grew up, it could be they were Shomrei Shabbos, like that, very weak family. He went to high school and maybe public school, I don't know what it's called.
Where, in Kovna?
No, that was later. I don't know. But then he went into business. How old he was when he went into business with 13, 14. And he had customers, he sold paint, and he had customers, and he did business, and he made that good. And it's a whole story, Rabbi Lapian, which I saw him. He was Mekarv him to Yiddishkeit, he brought him to Yeshiva. It wasn't about tshuva, he was from, but I imagine it was very, very weak from. He brought him to Yeshiva to kill him, and he stayed there for a while, and then he ran away because he had customers waiting for the schara. Finally, then he went back and he put himself into learning, and he became a Adam Gadol. He was the star of Achas Leshivim Shana. So he said like this: why is it that this tofa, this phenomenon, Medina Yisrael, is not mentioned Beremes or any place in the Kadmonim? He says, because this is not a tkufas pur onus. That means like this. The Yidden went through many tsaras, many persecutions they went through during all the years of the Golus. There was the Spanish Inquisition. There was the Holocaust. And in between, wherever the Yidden lived, they didn't have anybody. Just stopped the way of life.
Tachtat.
In the years, I don't know, what's the English?
1848, 1849.
No.
1648,
1648. Yeah. Oh, what kind of pogroms there were. I read it once, a book, Yevain Metzul, I think. Somebody at the time wrote it. What they did, what kind of torture they did to the Yidden, unbelievable. And what Yidden went through. So it says all that is called Puranius. The persecution of the Jewish people was talked in everybody talked about it. It's Merumas in the Chumash and all the Mefarshim. Everybody talked there's going to be persecution. Now, we're not living in a time of persecution. We're living in a Tkufas Nisayon, it's called. That means like this, that we're living in a time when Hashem is testing us, and I'll soon explain what that means. When Hashem tests you, He can't tell you in advance that He's going to test you, because then it's not a test anymore.
Yeah.
Avram Avinu Hashem hid the whole thing from him when they gave him the Nisayon of Akedah Yitzchak. He only found out later. And they say more than that. When on Nisayon means they take away all your madrigas, all your inspirations that you had, and you are in the darkness, and you have to fight and fight. That's on Nisayon. And those people who pay attention to what's going on with them, they know that every step of life is a Nisayon. A test. Hashem is testing us. When Hashem
That's a lesson of the Ramchal and Mesilas Yesharim. Akol Nisyon. I think such a lie.
The tachlis of a person is Lamad B'Nisayon. I think in the first parak, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
So he says like this, at Kufas Nisayon, that Hashem can't reveal anything. That has to stay besod, secret, behester, it has to be. That's why it's not. What is the Nisayon? What's the Nisayon? The Nisayon is. Now that he doesn't explain it, but I'm going to explain it. First of all, when you talk about the Yidden that came from the Arab countries, so that it's obvious what their Nisayon was, the Taimanim. I mean, it just hurts just to hear the stories of what the Taimanim, that holy Shevet B'Yisrael.
Bullman.
He said that holy Shevet. The Rishoyim, I mean, what they did to them, they brought them here and they fooled them and they told them you don't have to keep Yiddishkeit, we're in Eretz Yisrael. It's mamish. You read about what the Taimanim went through when they came to Eretz Yisrael. So it's impossible to be a Zionist. There's nobody. My seichel can't understand. I met somebody, a very, very nice person, 2 weeks ago I met, and he said, I was talking to him, he said, I'm a Zionist. It can't be such an
my friend,
yeah.
BK.
And he said, I'm a Zionist. We weren't arguing, we weren't fighting, we said like we're just getting to know one another. And he said, I call myself a Zionist. I don't call it's a very small difference. I don't call myself a nationalist, I call myself a Zionist. Call yourself whatever you want to. It can't be. Anybody who knows what happened over there to the Taimani Jews can't be a Zionist. It must be he didn't.
Well, the Moroccans, the Persians, and the Southern African weren't too good either.
Right. But it's just.
And the Yalde Tehran is not.
No.
We're not Gizonim either.
Right. But that's. So mordchai pogramansky, and then another piece of it, he says, all the years we were going through persecution of the Jewish people. Now we're going through a tkufa of a war against Hashem. That's what we're going through. The last 70 years, what is that, from 48 till now? We're living in a time where there's a war against Hashem is going on. In the High Court, what they call the High Court of Justice, which is not far from here, there on the top, on the roof, you see it points like this. I once heard from somebody, I think it was...
There's pyramids. They built pyramids around it.
Top, but little ones. Because that's mamish swords against Hashem. That's what it is. You told me that. That's what it's showing. Now, we see it all the time. Those that know what's going on a little bit, you don't have to read newspaper, you just have to read rags. They're mamish fighting against Hashem. They're not fighting against from people. There's a woman there, a witch, that her name is Miriam Naor. And then there's somebody else, Joachim Rubinstein, that wears a yarmulke. And there's an Arab maybe there also.
I think they don't know.
I don't know. And they say you should give the Reform women a place by the kosel that they should have also. To me, kshani la'atzmi, it doesn't bother me so much. So let them take the war. Hashem is in the shul where I daven. Hashem is there. Hashem is there also. So I don't go to the kosel anyway, because it's just pasha, very simple. It's very hard to get there, and on the way, it's such a trouble, such a thing. By the time you get there, you're so down, you feel so low from the trip there. And I'm not talking about coming from out of town. That I don't feel it's worth the whole thing. And who knows what your nichsa and shmir say, now I'm on the way. But I just can't go to the kosel. But we're talking about, the idea. I'm not talking about the thing itself, but the idea is they want to fight against Hashem. These people want to stab Hashem kibiyachol, just like who did it, who stabbed.
Titus.
Titus. He took the sword and he stabbed the baruches, and blood came out, and he said, Ki harages atzmo. He said he thought that he stabbed clapping out. And we, just like he did, we have over there in that building there, they're trying to stab Hashem, and that never happened all the years we were in Golus, because the Goyim were stabbing us. But that Jews should fight against Hashem, that never happened before. And said mordchai pogramansky said that this is called Tkufas Nisoin. So I started saying, for the Taimani Jews and the Moroccan Jews and the Tehran children that came,
they were Ashkenazi.
They were Ashkenazi. They were children that survived the Holocaust, and they came through Tehran, and they were brought here, and they shmaded them. Pashat kipshuta. So, with
the help of, I hate to say this, with the Brisker Rav and everything, not with the Brisker Rav, but Rav Otto Tzadik, Rav Yitzhak Isaac Herzog. Yeah, if you read the stories there, there was going to be a boycott of all the Jews in the world until they were there, and it was all ready to go. And then he signed on to Beketzer. He stopped the whole thing.
He was a miskin.
He didn't know. He
was a tummy. I don't know.
He had no earth in his chart.
Could be with it. Okay. That's an astrological term. Anyway, for those that don't know. What?
No, continue.
So,
10 seconds.
I'm saying like this. So this is a Nisan. For them, it was for sure Nisan. But what's the Nisan for us?
Okay, next.